And we are right on time. 7:30 on the dot. I'm just refreshing my screen so that I can check and make sure everything works on the YouTube side of things. It always wants to act like it's not starting. Come on. Come on. I'm refreshing. It's not giving me a play button. There we go. I got a play button. Now I'll unmute quickly. All right, I heard myself, so we're good.
Are we live then?
Double checking. So Nicole is already here. She says, "I made it. I am ready." If anyone is joining us, we are going to be watching Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which was the 1994 version with Robert Dinero. I don't know that I've actually seen this one before because I was only 4 when it came out. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I definitely didn't see it in theaters. I'll tell you that much. But, yep. So I have my lovely co-host, Monti B, over here with a channel of the same name. I didn't link the channel down below this time, but I'll do that later.
That's fine. Yeah, channel of the same name because I am not as creative as y'all.
I set it up on my phone, so I was like, oh, I don't know how to toggle.
No worries. Yeah, and of course my channel is just named Monti B because I'm not as creative as y'all. I'm just like, whatever, it is what it is.
Creators have been changing their names from like the creative titles to their own name because their names that they had initially came up with didn't contain their first name at all. So it's like their whole identity had become their channel name. So now they're changing it to just be the regular name because they're like, hey, when I started this channel, I was 18 years old. And, you know, I had like bullies in high school that I didn't want finding me on the internet. So now I need to disassociate from that because I'm like proud of who I am. I'm not worried about these bullies anymore. So I'm just going to switch it over to my real name. So honestly, you were ahead of the game because now it's
I love it. For once, I was first there. Lovely.
Yes. So I would not be surprised if we start seeing a lot of people changing their names in the next couple of weeks. Because one of them was the Irish Reader and the other one was Chloe, but I can't remember what her original channel name was.
The Irish Reader changed his channel name? Are you kidding me?
Yes, it's Kevin Kelly now.
So wowza. I
listened to it and I was like, it's some powerful stuff. You need to go listen to his explanation. He was like, I know Chloe just did this and some people are going to accuse me of like doing the same thing or whatever. And he's like, no, y'all got to understand. Like there was a journey of self-acceptance and stuff that went with it. And then when she did it, it just gave him the courage to go through with what he'd already been wanting to do.
I just love him. Like he was one of the first booktubers I watched. Him and Caleb.
Most creative.
Oh yeah, no, he's creative, fabulous. I adore him. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks since I saw a video from him, just because I have so many subscriptions. Like, you know, it gets through the rotation eventually, and I've been trying to keep up with like all my like smaller booktube friends, which is hard in itself. But yeah, I adore him.
So now you know not to search for Irish Reader. You got to search for Kevin Kelly.
Kevin Kelly. Okay. Love it. Well, truth be told, the reason I picked my name, honestly, is because I just went with what any of my favorite like YouTubers did. And like I'll admit it, I admire like Bailey Sarian and Emily D. Baker, and they just use their names, and I'm all, well, that's
cool.
I'm Monty. Yeah, I didn't put my full last name because it is
privacy. That's one of the reasons why I've got mine on here. Technically, my full name is in the logo, so it's there. Like, you can tell.
I'm like, wait, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that's my author. It's there, like it says Heather Dowell inside of the H. But I don't want friends and family searching to find this channel.
Yeah. See, and all my family knows I do it, so I don't care. Well, because my brother has a YouTube channel, my sister's got this huge Instagram following. I'm very minor compared to them, but yeah, I just don't put my last name out there because
you never know.
Well, exactly. You just never know. People are kind of ooky and spooky, And another community I was in, I used to have my first and last name as my YouTube name just because I didn't have a channel. Who cares? But when we were in live streams and I was chatting, they would call me Monti B. They never said my full last name because no one could pronounce it anyway. So I'm like, we're just going with Monti B because that's what I was known by. So
it works and it's easy.
Yeah. And completely non-related to Booktube. So fabulous.
Well, the other thing is like, even with the co-host, because I haven't met them in person and I haven't like live chatted or anything like that, I know people by their screen names. So then it's like, it's so awkward because it's like after a month, I keep thinking of their channel name.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, that's not your name though. And then I'll have to like go to a past thing where I've asked them what their name was, but I've forgotten it because I constantly see the channel name.
Right. I don't blame you because I think it's kind of smart not to use your last name. Like, just because people can be creepy in the world.
Yeah. I was like, I'm an author, so I use my name for that. So I want it to be visible enough to where if I'm talking about my books, people can look at it and be like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got the links and stuff. So it's not like I'm hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be where someone types in my full name and then all my stuff pops up. Because I want to talk about what I want to talk about. If I want to talk about smutty alien porn,
don't come for my gig, Heather.
No. Real here. It's like, I have no shame with readers because like, y'all get it. Y'all get it. But I don't need my mama on here with me reviewing this stuff. I'm like, no.
No, that's true. That's true. None of my parents watch me, and I had to tell my brother, because at first when I was just doing like the painting and I was doing voiceovers, my nieces and nephews watched me and I'm all, they probably shouldn't with what I review, because they would just mute it and just let them watch that. And I'm like, there's some things I talk about on there that they really should not watch, because they're like 7 and under, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, just no, please don't. They're like, but they love to watch you and the birds, and I'm all,
channel, and that I don't like cuss on here or anything.
I definitely don't cuss, but they don't need to be asking their mom and dad about some of the things I talk about, especially like the Vanilla Girl reads things. Like, I would be so embarrassed. Oh, I would be so embarrassed if they started asking about kinks and kink shaming or something. I'd be like, oh.
I did a book haul the other day and I was like, should I even mention my feels about going into this book because it could be seen as controversial?
What book was it? Can you say? Or
Furry Fox Paw. You heard of that?
No.
Okay. So whatever you're thinking it's about, it's okay. So it's a YA book.
Okay.
And it has to do with the furry community.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah, I thought that's what it was about.
Here's my So when it comes to cosplay, wanting to, like, if you want to get a full body cat suit and wear that around your house or even go grocery shopping in it, I don't care. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing like demented, anything like that. But recently there have been stories from multiple different sources, from friends and family to the internet, even stuff locally going on where like schools are literally putting litter boxes in hallways because children were defecating in the hallway because they believe that they are an animal. So therefore they do that. And so it's like, okay, there's a lot of things where, of course, there's nuance. There's things in the past that people have seen as mental illnesses that now we would never consider to be so.
Right.
But I do think that everyone has a personal line, and mine is defecating in hallways.
Yeah. So, once again, like, I understand that being a furry is a little different than like kink, like pup play, right?
And that's what I'm thinking, is that even though the furry thing was mentioned in the book, I think it's more of just like a playful, innocent, fun time. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when it crosses the line to where you're no longer able to be a functioning member of society, that is when I think it's like, okay, we need to address this as like a mental health issue, where there's some underlining reason why you feel like you need to do this.
Why you're an anamorphic animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I mean, and hey, if you want to do that in your own home, if you want to
go for it,
poop on your floor or poop in a litter box in your own home, that is your business. That is your business. But when you start doing that in public, like if you want to get dressed up in public, like know that you're going to get looks. Like just know that. Again,
you can still be a functioning member of society.
Exactly.
But when you're popping squat,
you're not functioning.
It's literally against the law.
Exactly.
Indecent exposure.
Yeah, because when I was back in college, I mean, we were all, I hate to say it, but we were very, very goth when I was in college. I went to an art school. It was the thing to do, right? And like, we went out in public in our full goth regalia, all of us. And you know what? But did we get looks? Yes. Did we want the looks? Yes. Also, yes. And I kind of think it's the same way. It's a way you want to present yourself to the world. And that's fine. That's fine. But you can't infringe on the rights of others. And I think we all have a right to not have poop in front of us.
Yeah.
If we have to pick up after our puppies and other animals, then I'm telling you right now, you got to pick up after yourself. You best be cleaning that up. And maybe just don't do it.
So I'm glad you agree, because I was like, hey, I haven't actually done any deep dives into this and talked to people that prescribe to it. So it's like, hey, there's a little bit of judgment here for me. But again, from an initial standpoint, I'm just kind of like, what?
Yeah. I'm all for people doing whatever makes them happy, but they have to abide by the rule. Do not bring harm to others. You know what I mean? That's the one rule I think you should always, and that covers, to me, you better have consent if you're doing your fun stuff with someone else, and whatever you're doing should not harm others. And I'm telling you, pooping in public in front of people is harming someone. So don't do that. Just don't do that. And if you have certain kinks, don't take them in public either. Keep them to yourself. Because, hey, I celebrate all the kinks. I've learned so much about kinks just from my reading and then having to do research on it. I celebrate them all. Whatever people want to do.
One time, and I wish I didn't.
Oh, I've learned.
And so basically, it was an alien thing, but they took some bestiality stuff.
Well, see, but you can't get an animal to consent. Yeah.
For the alien?
Yeah. So you cannot get an animal to consent. So that breaks my rule right there. It has consent. No one's getting hurt. You can't get consent from an animal. I'm sorry. So, but as long as you got your other bases covered, you do what you want, how you want to do it. But it's also something that I think should be in your own home or in your dungeon or in your club, but not performed on the street.
How we got to this?
This has gone off the rails, Heather. This is because Greg's not here to keep us on track.
Yes, Greg would have been blushing at this point.
Greg would have immediately shut this down and been like, turn the movie on. We're talking about Frankenstein. He would never have let us go. He would have been, no.
I think this is very entertaining opening to a live stream.
People are going to be like, what? Did I come here for this? I swear it was a watch along. Yes, it is a watch along, everyone. Sorry.
I always tell people, I'm like, I promise I'm not drunk. And then the next thing is, and I haven't even had that much sugar. But you know what? I'm about to.
Ooh, that looks so good. Wait, was that a gummy worm?
Yes. So this time, instead of candy corn, so I have my signature white chocolates and milk chocolate mix. And then I have, of course, the stovetop popcorn. And then I have full-size gummy worms. And I also have a gummy jelly bean brand gummies.
That's bizarre.
But I only did half the size of the popcorn because my husband was going to kill me with those whole cup. Because here's the other thing. I also take a whole cup of marshmallows and I melt that in with the chocolate. So the chocolate is not just chocolate. It's milk chocolate, white chocolate, and marshmallows and some butter. All stirred into one paste.
That sounds so stinking good.
I even made me some pretzels that are chocolate covered and I didn't bring them in here. So I'm going to go steal them real quick.
Okay. I just want everyone to know that Heather is truly a gourmet. Like, I could never make this. It would be a disaster. But she always has the best gourmet snacks. Like, I couldn't. Hold on. I got to get the chat up because the chat is not coming through on StreamYard. So I got to get the YouTube chat up.
I also usually put some cinnamon sugar on top so that any pieces that aren't covered in chocolatey goodness will also have some of this. But I don't think I'm going to need that today. Here is my plate where I did the chocolate and mixed it. So my whole plate. So I am set for the evening. I'm skipping dinner.
Sorry, I just got slacked from work, so I got to figure out what is going on.
Well, you can take.
I can do. I'm just going to look and see who slacked me and see if it's something I need to look at real quick. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself for a minute.
All right, and I'll just do the rundown. All right, everybody. So yes, if you haven't pulled up the movie yet, it is going to be Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the 1994 version with Robert Dinero. If you have Hulu, then you can watch this for free because it is on Hulu. If you don't have Hulu and you've never had it, you should be able to get either a 7-day free trial or 30-day free trial. Also, Hulu does have a free version that comes with commercials. So you might be able to do that even if you don't have Hulu. And then I've also been told that it is an Amazon Prime Video, at least in some countries. So hopefully everyone will be able to get it. Now, this movie is the longest one that we've done for a watch along. Hulu is telling me that it is 1 hour and 51 minutes. A lot can happen during that time. So if you need to get up and use the restroom, go do that. I am going to put in a 5-minute break at the end of the movie so that everyone has time to do that. You've got a barking dog, you can address the situation so you can get back to the movie, whatever you need to do. So at the tail end, there will be 5 minutes. I figure we will start watching in 3 minutes. So that will be 7:50, which will bring us to 8:50. 9:50, 40, 45. So like 9:45-ish, we'll come back on and we'll discuss how we felt about the movie. So, Monty, are you good?
Yes, got work sorted. It looked like it was important, but I don't think it was. It was dumb. So I think we're okay.
All right. So the chat will be up the whole time. And like I said, we'll just be back here at 9:45. So you've got that 5-minute window built in, and you don't have to worry about any interruptions or anything like that. But yeah, go ahead and go to your stream and start watching. The live chat will be open for that. I'm going to have my face off so that y'all don't get grossed out by me cramming this into my mouth.
Yeah, I'm going to turn my camera off because I've got to run into the other room. But I'm going to have my iPad so I can watch the movie while I'm doing that.
Awesome. And y'all just feel free to chat if you want. If you don't want to chat and you just want to wait until the end of the movie, that's fine. I'm probably just going to be watching the movie, to be honest. But we had some really good ones from MJ last week. So, I mean, it might be worth
along. MJ was hilarious. And from the first watch along, it was like pinnacle sass in that chat. And I loved it.
I think this one is supposed to follow the movie, the book a little bit more. So who knows? But yeah, let's go ahead and start it up.
Let's do it.
And we're back.
I've got the baby with me right now, so.
How cute. I was like, I took 2 potty breaks, so I figured everyone's had time. I think you started it fast. I don't think you had any break. And then I started it, so I was only like a minute behind you. And then
Okay.
Nicole probably like 3 minutes behind. So oh my gosh. Yeah, that was something else. Because
That was an experience.
I thought that it was gonna follow the book completely for the most part with the way that Greg had talked about it.
Mhm.
So when it came to him reanimating her, I was surprised. And then I was like, wait, I know there's a Bride of Frankenstein. Is it like a literal sequel to this one? And then I kept wondering if her head was going to fall off because she was so poorly sewn together.
Oh my
And
gosh.
like, why all of the extra chopping of limbs? Like her heart was ripped out. Wouldn't you just need to put a new one back in? Like, I don't
Well,
understand.
so I was confused because I thought he chopped her head off to put
He did.
on Justine's body, but I don't know why we had all the other body parts. Did he just use Justine's torso? And like I know you just like Nicole said. See, like Nicole said, why the gouges in her face? She didn't have any of that.
Well, he also cut off her hands.
Yeah, why? I mean, is that part of like, did he have to put the amniotic fluid in her? I was confused.
Yes, I'm thinking it had something to do with the actual process, but I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then the fact that she burns herself alive. And I'm like, okay, so with that version, she does retain some of her memories, and she's like really mad that he reanimated her.
Mm-hmm.
So she does that. But I'm like, but that doesn't make sense because wouldn't the doctor dude that he used the brain of also have had some memories?
You would think, right? Like, I don't
Because
know.
they were in contact with each other. So I'm
Awful.
like, huh? Which is
So
really
wrong.
interesting because they also did a good job with the movie with changing some of the narrative to make Victor seem more sympathetic, like he wasn't as at fault as he
Yeah.
was in the book, like
Yeah.
with the lynching.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. That's what I kept thinking. I'm like, oh, they've changed it just enough that you actually have some kind of sympathy for Victor, much more so than the book.
Yeah.
Like, but yet he still retained all those horrible qualities he had. But I think I know why things were changed just slightly. So the actor that plays Victor Frankenstein is Kenneth Branagh, and he is
I
this
was
classic.
wondering who you were talking about
Yeah.
when I
So
saw the name. I was like, huh, it's Robert De Niro.
no. Kenneth Branagh is a very classically trained Shakespearean actor. He was in, and like for his Shakespearean actor credits, like he's the one that directed Much Ado About Nothing. He has done Hamlet on the stage for years. I mean, he's very classically trained in England, right? But when he makes movies, because he directed this movie, I looked it up, he takes things over the top. That's why this movie was insane, is because Kenneth Branagh directed
The
it.
musical score was just too much.
There was so much about this movie that was too much to me. I'm
There
like,
was nothing that didn't have extra to it. It was like we can't have a moment without anything additional happening in
yep.
the background. So we got to play some music there when they're having a conversation. Like there was like no dead time.
No, there was no room to breathe. And that is a Kenneth Branagh movie. Like I had a suspicion when I started watching it. I'm like, because the sets were so intricate, the costumes was very intricate. And here's the thing, I think the costuming was wonderful. I don't know if it was period accurate. I don't care. I love when women wear panniers. Like, beautiful. Love it. I love the little baskets on the side of their hips. Think it's gorgeous. I loved the makeup. I thought the makeup was fabulous. Like, beautiful. Sets were good, but it was over the top. And we can just applaud Kenneth Branagh for it. And the other thing I looked up because I was very curious. So back in 1994, this movie cost $45 million to make. That is $90.1 million today. I
Why?
don't.
It's not
And
like
here,
it's Avengers.
well, Right? And here's the thing is I was alive and well in 94. I was probably maybe high school, late middle school, high school. I had no idea this movie existed. So, and like I loved like historical and period pieces. So I don't think this movie was very successful. Even though like you have, like I said, you have Kenneth Branagh, you have Helen Bonham Carter, you have Robert De Niro, you have Aidan Quinn. That's who played Walden with the beautiful eyes.
Oh,
he was well known in the 80s, 90s. He was a very well known actor.
The changes for him in the movie I thought were interesting. Like they made him
Have a
more like
spine.
a captain.
Yeah, they made him likable. And but and then yeah. And then the actor that played Frankenstein's father, that's who played Frodo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings series. Like in not in The Hobbit, but in the Lord of the Rings series, like at the very first. And he's a very well-known English actor, and I can't think of his name, but he's been in 100,000 things. He was in the movie about Jack the Ripper, where he played the guy that they think is Jack the Ripper, with Johnny Depp, I believe.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure. Like, you're making me have to think, which is hard for me. But so, yeah, all these people are very, very, very well known. Even the guy that played Henry, who was not as beautiful as I wanted Henry to be, according to the wonderful description of the book of his beauty and loving of all good things. But he's very well known. And then John Cleese playing Dr. Waldman, which John Cleese is a legend. So that's the thing is there's 100,000 actors in this movie that should have made it so much bigger than it was. From Hell. That was the movie I was thinking of. From Hell. It is with Johnny Depp. So see, my brain didn't leave.
I agree with Nicole. The lynching was full on. I was like, no trial, no nothing.
Yeah, that was
to lynch someone from that height. It's like, what? Oh my gosh, there ain't no surviving that.
No.
That ain't like the little 10-foot drops you typically see in movies. It was like, no, we're gonna drop you like 50 feet. I'm surprised heads didn't just come off if that was a thing.
Yeah, it's that was so like that's the thing though. So much of this movie, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. There were times I was like, I'm gonna throw up. Like this movie was disturbing in so many ways.
Trigger warning, like the dog stuff at the beginning of it. I was like, oh my
Dude,
god.
Why you gotta kill the little pup
animals without giving us a trigger warning?
There's no pup, baby. I just said the word though. There's no pup. No pup. No. Frank's obsessed with dogs. And so, no, Frank, we can't have one.
Frank, hold on.
You're going to make him scream. You're going to make him, he'll start screaming. Y'all better take your headphones out if you get him yelling.
Bear.
Oh no.
I don't even know if he's inside. Oh, no, he is. Bear, come here, buddy. Bear, come here, Bear.
I don't know, baby.
I'm outside. So,
yeah. So Frank, he's obsessed with dogs. He wants one really bad, and I let him have one. So.
That is so cute though. Like the bird has that specific of a personality to be like, I like dogs.
Oh,
I need to see a parrot because I know they're like smart and they live for a very long time.
Are you smart boy? You clever sweetheart? Yes, he's a clever boy. No, anytime a dog walks past our house, see, every time I say that, he says pup pup. When they walk past our house, he'll sit there and scream to them because he wants them to come visit him. And I'm like, they'll eat you. No, we can't. No, we can't. Never. Sorry, baby. We can only look at him on TV. Yeah, he was freaking out at the beginning of this movie because of the dog sounds.
Oh.
Yeah. I have to tell him, no, it's on TV. And then he doesn't believe me. He doesn't understand that.
Is Bear here? Come here, Bear. I got a friend for you to meet.
Oh, you want to see? What's that? I know, baby. It's on the TV, though. Remember? Yeah, that's a pup. Good job, sweetheart. So proud of you.
My sweet little babies. He didn't scream. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? Oh.
No, it's because your dog didn't bark. If it would have barked, he would have been. Oh, but he can't hear it because I've got my headphones in, so we're all safe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he loves.
I'm getting in my lap now. Look at this. He sat down.
But he definitely saw him for sure. He got very interested the moment Bear walked in.
We gotta supply the entertainment for Frank. He just kissed me in the mouth. Yes, you did. You give Mama lick.
You like that puppy? Yeah, I know, baby. I know it's about your bedtime.
Oh man! I taught him how to do kiss. Can you do kiss? You're so cute. Which is funny because before Bear, if dogs would lick me like on the legs when I'd come in, I'd go straight to the sink, get a paper towel, wet it, and wipe it. Now
you're just like, whatever.
He kiss me on the mouth.
See, and Nicole's right here. She says, and John Cleese is also in the movie. He was the doctor where Harry fainted. Yeah. And I didn't even recognize him at first. So well done, John Cleese. Because like he's, like John Cleese is a legend. So you always recognize him, but I didn't.
That to me is the mark of a good actor.
For sure.
And that's what, like, sometimes people will make fun of certain actors because they've been in like quote unquote cheesy movies geared towards women audiences. And then you see them in other stuff and you're like, okay, like Robert Pattinson, for instance. He had a hard time after Twilight. People didn't think he could act. But then if you see him in the Lost City Z or whatever, I knew it was him, but it was like an hour into the movie before I knew it was him. I was like, I kept forgetting that I was watching him. So I was like, okay, that to me is the mark of a good actor. Now, when you cannot forget that you're watching them, then that's when you know they've just become a stock character. People use them for the same exact roles. Yeah, and it's not necessarily their fault. They just become iconic for being that character.
Right.
Megan Fox, for instance. It's like, you're not going to forget that it's Megan Fox.
True.
But not her fault. She capitalized because those were the opportunities that she was getting. So she was like, all right, I know what y'all want. I'm going to get my money.
Right. The only opportunity she was given, which is sad.
Unfair, because I've seen some stuff on her and you see even the choices that people might have criticized. It's like, no, there was deliberate choice making in those films where she was trying to say something like a feminist message, but you don't necessarily get it right away. Like Jennifer's Dead Body was the one.
Jennifer's Body. Yeah. That like not my type of movie because it's a horror movie. But yeah, there was a lot to be said in that movie, and she really acted her little bum off in that movie. She did a phenomenal job. And I'm super glad that she's starting to get credit now.
Yeah,
but
it's like delayed. It's so delayed because back then it was always like the body. Like everyone would comment like they've got the hot girl, and that's all they ever said about her. And it's like, no.
Well, and it's sad because Megan Fox is a beautiful woman, beautiful woman, but she also could act, and she also has a brain. Yeah. Like beautiful women can be more than just that. You know what I mean? Like people can be more dimensional than just that. Like, yeah, I agree. But
and then other actresses, they get the credit and they have the pretty face, like Reese Witherspoon.
Right. Who's a very beautiful woman as well. And a pretty funny actress, I think.
Yes. So it's just kind of weird.
Well, and I think what happened with Megan Fox is she made the wrong people in Hollywood mad. And that sadly kept her away from a lot of things because she got blacklisted really quick.
But I wonder if those same people have now been like put in jail or should have been put in jail.
Oh yeah, no, those same people have fallen from favor, and so, but it's sad how Hollywood works. Not everyone's treated fairly, and not everyone's judged by, you know, their talent. It's I know I could never do it. I mean, not that I can act, but let's pretend I could. I still wouldn't want that kind of life, because having to kiss up to those people, not for me. But anyway, but yeah, I really do believe. I mean, this movie was a good movie. It was well made. I think Kenneth Branagh overacted, because he often does, but because he had no one to pull him back. But that's okay.
Maybe I thought all the references to sister. I'm like, you could have easily changed it, like the way they did with Justine, where like her mom was with her.
Yeah.
And so I don't really know what Justine was to them, because she wasn't one of them, but she also wasn't necessarily a servant.
Yeah, it was weird. She was almost, yeah.
I was like, I don't really know your role here. But they could have done that with Elizabeth, and then I would have been like, okay. But yeah, I could not. All of those scenes. I was like, and then when the monster was on top of her, Robert Dinero
had more chemistry with her than
scared, and I was did. Like, okay. Which I think that's not anything to do with him, but it has to do with just the fact that he kept saying sister. So anything better than that.
So Nicole picked up, she was a governess for William. So that makes sense, because the governess would be a lot closer than just like a servant. So thank you so much for that. We both missed that.
But also she was there when they were children, because remember when they brought Elizabeth in, Justine was already in the household.
So I wonder if
was with her.
I wonder if her mama was maybe
and then she just got to live there too, so they kind of just all grew up together. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Also said she was 24 years old when it came out, and she did not watch it. She doesn't think it was very popular in Australia.
I'm gonna just look really quick to see how much it made. I'm very, very curious. Let me see if I can find it on IMDb.
And she agrees that the physics of that, her head would have been ripped off.
Right. No, I agree. Like, that was awful. Oh, if I never see that again, that's awesome.
So, I still can't get over whenever he sewed the wife back together, that the gaps between the strings were so big. I was like, what in the world? It's like, I just got to show you I am doing the quickest job that I can. And it's like, and when he like hesitates with the blade, and then he's like, pow! And I was like, what the hell is he doing?
This is okay.
For they were young, she was teaching all the kids. Okay, that makes sense.
So this movie made $112 million at the box office. So it did make money, because it was only, what did I say, like 45 to make, raked in 112. So I would say that's almost double. Well, no, that's more than double. So it made more than double its money back. So great. And it was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Makeup and Hairstyling. Did not. Oh, wait, did it? Hold on. I don't know if it won or not. It said nominated, but no, it did. It won an Academy Award for Best Hairstyling and Makeup, which I do agree. I think the makeup was phenomenal, but this was not an Academy Award winning movie in my mind.
I wonder if one of the reasons why the actress that played Elizabeth got to be Beatrix in Harry Potter was for the ending scenes. She was like, I can show you crazy.
Well, and I mean, and she worked, let's see, Helen Bonham Carter. I mean, she's played a lot of crazy roles, because she played Ophelia in Hamlet with Mel Gibson. And then she was in Fight Club. I don't know if that was before or after this movie. Like, she loves to play the crazy, though. She's really good. I
always see her as Beatrix, like, because that would have been. Oh, you know what? And Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
That was my other big one for her.
See, and I always see her as Ophelia from Hamlet, because I thought she was the most beautiful person when she played Ophelia, because she has such large
Gorgeous.
eyes.
I don't
Yeah.
think you really realize how pretty she is in
Oh,
like
she's
the Harry
beautiful.
Potter movies.
Mhm.
And so, but people are always in love with her. Like people my mom and dad's age.
Oh, yeah.
They're like head over heels for her. And I never really got it. And then I see her in this movie and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, when she was I mean, and she was I know Hamlet was before this because she was a lot younger in it, and she was just stunning and such a wonderful actress. Could totally made you believe that she was 100% crazy, and went from meek and mild to crazy in no time at all. And yeah, go watch Hamlet with Mel Gibson. I know Mel Gibson's problematic, but he does a good job in that. And she is just phenomenal in it. Watch it just for her. Yeah.
Nicole says, I'm still reeling from William's birth. I was like, WTF.
Dude, right out the gate, we're just like blood and more blood.
And they
And some more
propped her
blood.
leg up over the side of a chair. I'm like, why is she giving birth in a chair for one?
Because that's how they used to do it. Birthing chairs.
Really?
Oh, it's a real thing. Oh yeah, birthing chairs were very common back then. Because I don't know why. Gravity. Because gravity helps the baby come out. But
Yeah,
no,
like
birthing chairs were
leg
really
over,
common.
I don't know where the other leg went.
Who knows? Well,
blood everywhere.
Yeah, that scene was, and especially when I didn't quite understand, because it's funny because I just watched the second season of Bridgerton last night, or over the weekend, and they were talking about having to cut the mother to save the baby, and I'm like, and me in my dumb head is thinking, well, yeah, you're going to give her a cesarean, you can sew her back up. No, that's not what they meant.
Yeah. So interesting story. That happened with my mother to give birth to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when she was delivering me, she was almost 20 years old, but she's like 5'3" and she weighed 135 pounds. I weighed 9 pounds and 3 ounces.
Oh gosh.
So I was a big baby because I was her first. They had her carry until I busted the water.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was 3 weeks overdue that they let her carry me.
Oh goodness.
And then I came out and I had pneumonia. So I just found this out this week. I thought I had measles when I was younger, but no, I had pneumonia and they had me in the NICU or whatever for like a couple of days. And I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, anytime I ever did anything wrong growing up or even slightly disrespected my mama, my dad would tell me, don't you understand your mama almost died giving birth to you?
Oh my gosh.
Doctors were crying because they kept having to cut her up to get me out. But horror birth story. This movie definitely showed one of those. Yeah.
This movie, I did not like how graphic it was. That's just, and we all know that, like I've said before, one of my favorite movies of all time is Predator. Love that movie. Love it with my whole heart. Do not find it off-putting at all. But like this movie just made my tummy it just churned my stomach like no other.
Just because it's too realistic in ways. Like those things can happen.
Right. Yeah, it's not popcorn violence. So if it's somewhat real to me, I'm all, no, I gotta go.
Like that would be very traumatic for someone that's had similar experiences to see it that way, and then with a musical score on top of it.
Oh, that musical score. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was not a fan. And I thought it was so funny when Nicole said, did anyone think of the song? Say my name, say my name, say my name. I was all, yes. Yes.
He kept saying, call me by my name. And I was thinking of the book turned into movie with that title.
Yeah, I was just thinking the song. When he'd be like, say my name, say my name, say my name.
I'm waiting for the bird to be like, when no one is around you, say baby I love you. Always be the same.
He's really pretty. He
It
sings like
is Beyonce's
metal.
internet, right?
It is Beyonce. We are on Beyonce's internet. We are allowed to have our presence here.
We gotta bring out the old school Beyonce.
Yes.
With Destiny's Child.
That's right. That is right. Frank, do you sing like a
sing?
He does. He sings like Scuttle. He does not have a beautiful. He used to sing like a pretty bird, huh, baby? He like when he I don't know how to explain it. I'll have to get some video of him singing. I have some, but it's hilarious. The way he sings, it's like Scuttle from Little Mermaid, where he's all wah wah wah. That's what Frank sounds like.
No, I'm like, Frank, entertain us.
I'd have to start singing in. I'm not going to subject you all to my voice. I can't carry a tune, so.
I want to be where the people are.
If I took my headphones out and he could hear you, he would probably start singing. Like,
well, just put one by his ear.
He'll bite it. He'll bite me.
Oh no,
come on, Bubba.
No,
Frank's vicious when he wants to be. He's getting tired, so I've got to go put him to bed.
Where are his ears?
So they are,
or a bone.
They're right behind, like right below his eye, and they're just little holes in his head, and you have to move the feathers to see them. Oh, he is going to go to the bathroom, so I got to go take him to his cage.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go potty. I know.
Y'all, she told me one time he was doing that and she didn't notice. And it's somewhere on one of her videos on her channel. So y'all go make sure to subscribe so you can see that good content. But she didn't know that he was giving her the signal. So he pooped on her video.
He has before. That time we got it back though.
I told them that's why they need to go subscribe to your channel so they can do a deep dive.
Yeah, I'm telling you this, I'm wearing pink in the video. I remember that. But yeah, but he was making that little sound and I knew he had to go to the bathroom. So he's very smart. He's very clever.
Oh, good thing you didn't have the headphones out because my dog just went.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, he'd be screaming. But yeah, so nothing on my back. I'm very proud. Frank made it to the bathroom. I was paying attention to what he needed. So. But I agree with you, Nicole. Graphic is okay, but when it's over the top, yeah. And this whole, like, if I had to sum up this movie in one sentence, it would be, it was over the top.
Over the top.
Yeah.
I think we were all kind of saying that in the comments at different points. We, like, even whenever, so right after the movie ended, I went and used the restroom and I came back. And what I was thinking, like, my first comment was going to be exactly what you had said, like word for word. I can't remember what you said. I'm looking for it. Oh, that movie was something else. I was like, word for word. That was my reaction.
Yeah.
And then Nicole said dramatic and unexpected.
I would agree with that statement as well. It was just, it was an experience. And now I can say I've seen it.
Not boring.
Yeah, definitely not boring. No, and now I've seen 3 different versions of Frankenstein, more than I ever thought I'd ever watch. So there's that. I'm still going to tell
which one I would pick as my favorite, because it's like this one is the most accurate, and then I liked the additional scene because I feel like that was a realistic move for Victor.
Oh, for sure.
Try to reanimate her.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like some of the small changes that they made, or maybe just it explained what was actually happening in the book more, like the visuals with them like running into the iceberg and getting stuck, and the ending scene where the ice cracks. That was kind of cool. Yeah. The monster like swimming over with the torch to burn alive with the Victor. That was like, oh my.
Yeah, I would say that this one is most book accurate out of everything I've watched. I'm still going to say The Bride is still my favorite. I don't care. Sting is beautiful. I love that movie. I don't even care. So
I'll have to look that up because I have not seen it.
oh, it's it's got a good love story in it. So if it's a good
Not
love story,
cousins, right? Not
huh?
cousins and sisters love story.
Nope, no cousins, no sisters.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh.
no, it's just it's kind of a sweet story. I remember crying the first time I watched The Bride. Like there's sad parts to it. So I definitely felt more sympathy for characters in that. So, and yes, Nicole, I agreed with this so hard. At least now we can say we have seen it, and I'm not revisiting it anytime soon. Same. Same.
Henry did die in the books.
Yeah. Well, in the book, everyone dies. Like everyone. Just everyone and all are just dead. But yeah, Henry lived in this one. So that was a big change that I was kind of like,
You're like, I wanted to see him die too.
you know me, I wanted everyone to die. So when I'm done with a book, I'm like, let everyone die. And in this one, it happened. And I'm like, oh, did I curse this book? Well, Walton lives. Walton goes back home and I'm sure tells, I don't know. Maybe his boat doesn't make it out of the North Pole though.
If y'all wondered why I dedicated that Frankenstein parody to Monty, you now have your answer.
This book was not 100% my favorite. Like, well written, beautiful, ahead of its time. Has zero sympathy for any character except for Justine. And Walton's sister, who had to read those letters of her brother whining on about not having a friend. Now, if her brother was more like this Walton, you know what I mean? We could be all like, okay, cool. I like Walton. I do like Walton in this movie a lot. I thought he was no nonsense, and what it would probably have been like to be a captain trying to explore the North Pole for whatever unknown reason that you would do that. But yeah,
I saw him as a kind of a parallel to Victor, just in a different way, because the front Victor kind of wanted to be like known for going beyond what current science was and being able to create this big change. And then Walton wanted to make it to the north and go where no man had gone before so that he could also make a name for himself. So
right. Both very ambitious, very ambitious.
That's the parallel right there, just the ambitious.
But well, and even though Walton was ambitious, right, in his quest, even in the book, he was different from Frankenstein because he refused to sacrifice his men for this quest to the North Pole. You know, and even in the movie when they're like, where do we go from here? He's like, we go home. Because of course, dude, after all this, of course you're going to go home. You know, he wasn't going to.
But did meeting Victor make him make that change? Because he was very adamant
that they were going to go on.
That they were going to keep going on. Like they were starving.
Right. They're going to start eating each other. But yeah, I absolutely think that him meeting Victor inspired the change because both in the movie and the book, you know, they're like, let's go, let's go, let's go. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think he saw that like unbridled ambition in Frankenstein is what led to his downfall and the downfall of everyone around him. And so he's like, oh, I don't want to be like that.
And also didn't mistreat the monster because he knew if he did.
Right. Yeah. Smart. Well, and like that whole scene with the cabin though, that was so confusing because like, I mean, did the little girl explain anything on their run back? And if you walked in there and you saw your father just like talking to some dude by the fireplace, you're just going to go beat him? Like, wouldn't you be like, Father,
the girl told them that someone hurt the dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So music then they were loud. I couldn't hear that. They just assumed that he was the one that was hurting him because they didn't know there was a second person.
Right.
Because he didn't show up until after the girl ran off.
Right.
You never saw the body of the dude that went for the rent. He just kind of like tossed it towards the roof and then it disappeared.
He threw that body away. I kind of wish the old man would have been like, no, that guy saved me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why they all had to leave.
But it was so fast that
Yeah.
he got pushed out the door. He didn't even have time to explain. And then the son was like, we have to leave.
Which was convoluted. I didn't understand why they had to leave.
I guess they were scared that the monster was going to come back.
I guess so. But like, you would have thought, like, as they're leaving, the father would have been like, I don't know what y'all are doing. Like, old dude helped us. That's the spirit of the forest.
Right. Before they would actually wind up getting out of the door. And then if the monster knew that the granddad was fine or whatever, like, why burn their house? Because even if they went away, they'll eventually come back. It's not like they have money to relocate.
Like I said, even in the book, I felt like he really did not try. Do you know what I mean? He gave up very quickly. He gave in to, I mean, and I understand getting chased by that mob in the movie. I don't think that happened in the book. I don't remember that happened in the book, but I dumped a lot of that out the moment I was done. I was all, whoo, done, dump. So, but let's say, even in this movie, like if we just take the movie at face value, okay, so he got chased by the mob. That sucks. I get it. Those people were dumb, though, and very panicky about the plague. So, okay. And then he gets out there, and yeah, that guy overreacts. But let's say the dad talked to that dude and was like, no, that guy helped us. That's the spirit of the forest. They come back, and they go walking out there as a family and be like, hey, we're sorry. Because I guarantee you that's what would have happened if anyone had common sense. Like, and then they all could have lived together. He could have helped them on that farm. Everyone could have had a happy life. But no, let's burn their house and then go like, I'm going to kill everyone that's associated with the dude that made me. And anyone that gets in my way along the way, kill. Like, it just...
They also made Victor less stupid in this movie. Like, he had guards the wedding night.
Yeah.
And they relocated, and he was trying to get them to go to, like, a different place to cross the sea. Mm-hmm. So, like, they made him smarter, and they also took away some of his responsibility for wrong things happening.
Yep.
So,
yeah. And I don't know, it's just weird. Like, it was a good movie. It was a good book. It was a good experience.
There was a scene in the book where he was run out of town. It was not a big part of the book, but as you said, they were freaked out about the plague. See, and I didn't even realize the plague thing until this movie. I didn't even think about that being in the book.
Right. And yeah, I mean, I can understand, like, if you saw someone with, I mean, I'm sorry to say, but even Robert Dinero, before he became the monster, just when he was up there saying he ain't going to get jabbed, he looked kind of scary plague-like.
That was Robert Dinero who said he wasn't going to get jabbed?
Yes!
I did not know at all. At all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the thing is, like, and I'm sure you looked at everyone very skeptically. And if they looked a little bit different, you'd be like, you got the plague, get out.
Well, the other thing is when you saw him in his naked body, he had like black splotches everywhere. So, I mean, wasn't that part of the, I'm just thinking Black Plague, like the name.
But I think
maybe that was a sign.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure like you developed like heavy bruising and stuff. And so it like they would appear like dark splotches on your skin. So yeah, I mean, but the thing is there's someone for everyone in this world. I guarantee it. And not everyone is going to hate you universally. It doesn't happen. Just like not everyone's going to like you universally. Like, you're not going to always be someone's cup of tea, but you probably will be one person's cup of tea at least, just not everyone's cup of tea.
I say unfortunately, but honestly, if everyone liked you, you'd probably be super overwhelmed.
Oh, dude, no.
Especially if they were trying to like call you and keep in contact and be like, no thanks.
Yeah.
One of the girls, I commented on her video and I was like, hey, all my friends are online. I said, I don't know how to manage more than like 3 close friends at a time.
Same. I have a very small circle of friends that I keep around me.
I was like, even with my 3, I don't message them every day.
Yeah. Being known by everyone, that would be too much. Like, but I learned long ago, I'm very polarizing. You like me or you don't. There's usually not an in between. So
that is so surprising to me because I can't think of a single negative quality.
I'm snarky. That's the problem. Is I'm snarky, and sometimes because I have a dry sense of humor, as you saw in chat. I'm very dry sense of humor, and I think a lot of times people take that I'm being serious when I say like random things or what I would consider outlandish. I'll say outlandish things in my mind, but I say it very straight faced. And so people don't know how to take me and they think I'm being serious. And it takes a while to understand that, nah. No,
I love playing Cards Against Humanity because I'm the person that uses the dark humor.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be like Cards Against Humanity is meant to be super offensive. So I will precurse this by saying that I will pick either the most offensive pairing or just whatever I think's like so dark it's gonna make you laugh. So it'll be like it would like for instance, the card would be like where everyone has it will be like a gift for your best friend, and I'd be like AIDS.
Oh, Heather.
I do the darkest humor possible. And it's like people don't expect that from me. Or the most sexual choice. Oh man. It's like that's the way to do it. So they never think it's me after like 3 rounds. And then they're like, anytime that something like that comes up, it's her.
Yep.
I played this game at a writing conference, and one of the headliners was the guy that wrote Warm Bodies. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Isaac Marin, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I literally made him do a snort laugh. But he also had the dark humor. So me and him were both putting in the darkest stuff possible.
That's awesome.
So we kept winning all the cards.
I love that.
Man. So
yeah, I'm just like Nicole says here, very sarcastic. That's me, but I do it with a very straight delivery. And so people think I'm being serious. Like I was at work and I had just started working with my team because I've only been at the company I'm at now I'm coming up on my year anniversary. And when I first got there, I was like, we were talking about something. And I'm like, well, I don't think with this project that company name is going to fail. If I don't finish this, this company's not going to fold its doors and fall into oblivion. And they were all just kind of looking at me. One of the girls I work with, she's a project manager. She finally looked at me. She goes, "You're joking, aren't you?" And I'm all, well, of course I'm joking. Who would think that their stupid project is going to tank this company? Because I work for a very large company that, believe me, nothing I do is going to tank it. And I'm like, did you guys really think that I thought this dumb project of mine was like the end all be all of our existence? And she's like, no, I really thought you were being serious. And it took me a minute to realize that you were just being very sarcastic. And I'm like, yeah.
Sometimes I'm a very giggly person, but sometimes I like to see how I can get people to believe a lie. Like I'll tell them as soon as they fall for it that I'm joking, but I'll wait until they fall for it. So I did this a couple of times during this weekend. All right. So I'm going to tell you the 3 things I did in the past 3 days. I'm a 32-year-old. Okay. So last night, me and my sister-in-law went out to go get drinks because we didn't have anything at the house. So we went out to the Dollar General or whatever, and we got some little pizzas and stuff too, brought it back. And I was like, okay, let's put the pizzas in. Do not tell my brother that we got pizzas and that they're in the oven. I said, because he was working down in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, he is going to smell the pizza eventually. He's going to come up here and be like, what is this? I smell something. What do you know? 10 minutes later, he comes up the stairs. I think something's burning. Do y'all smell that? I think something's burning. And I was like, so serious. I was like, well, earlier in the day, I had put some stuff over the gas burners and my mom had smelled it. So we thought maybe it was burning some of the plastic. So we moved it. Maybe you want to go in there and check and make sure nothing's on the gas burner because it might be melting. So like that serious. So he goes in there, nothing's on it. So he's like, are y'all serious? Y'all don't smell this? You didn't think to get up and investigate? And he's 9 years younger than me. So you're talking about like a 23-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like 5'10" and he's skinny, but he's got like buff muscles and he was in the army. So he's like to the stove. And then he sees the open bags that the pizza was in, and he's still trying to tell us.
Oh, goodness.
The oven is on. Can y'all not tell that the oven is on? And we're like, dude, did you look in the oven? And there's 3 pizzas in there.
I love it.
Was number 1. Number 2 was this morning. All right. So I told them my mom and dad were going to come over because they were going to bush hog the yard for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, all right, we all need to do a voice recording of each of us doing a series of fake farts. And then when they come in, we should be talking to them very normal. And John, you play the recording of fake farts.
No, no, you did not.
Hold on. He goes, well, we don't really have a lot of time. Let me see something. He goes downstairs to the basement, turns on the speaker system, and then finds like a video of farting noises. So we wait until my mom comes in and she's talking, and I like give him a signal. I'm like, So he does it. And then my mom was like, what in the world? And I was like, oh, we all had something last night and made our stomachs hurt. And she's believing us at first, but then the farting gets louder in the basement. So she realizes the sound is coming from behind her.
Oh, that's like, awful.
Yeah,
no, that's awful.
It was a recording. And then the third thing. So this one was another team effort. So I was not the one who actually came up with this, but I was the one who followed through. All right, if that makes sense. We had to take a bunch of stuff to the dump, and you have to pay a fee to dump your stuff there. It was like furniture. So we went. It only cost $9. So they charge for the weight of what you dump. So they weigh your vehicle when you cross, and then they weigh it when you come back. This is $9. Well, I get home. Kimmy was like, let's tell him it's $90 to dump this stuff. Because he ain't ever dumped anything. And she thought it was going to be $50.
Right.
And so I was like, that might be a little bit much. So then Tammy starts off and she says, yeah, we had to pay the dump. And he was like, well, how much? She goes, well, it was a little high. And he's like, how much? And so then I chime in and I'm like, it was $1 per pound. And that big recliner chair we had to throw out was pretty heavy. So it was quite a bit. And he's like, how much? And then my dad is sitting across the room. And he's like $1 a pound. That doesn't sound right. Then we tell him it was $90. And my dad's like, yeah, I don't think so. I've only paid like $5 to go to the
no.
So then my brother was like, y'all fooled me.
Yeah, that's.
He believed he's like, but last night when the oven was worse.
Yeah, definitely. You made him run around trying to find out what was going on. All right, so I have a green bird on the ground trying to come in. I need to put him to bed. So I want to say, Heather, this has been awesome. I'm going to be missed doing this every week. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, but I'm going to watch you and your co-hosts in November, and it's going to be.
Is I've thought about doing, watching Hotel Transylvania. There's 4 of them.
Oh no!
So I thought about doing one a week. And actually, I did this, but this isn't the cup, but I also have a vampire one. So I'm going to bust it out. So yeah, if you want to join me for one of those, because those might not be the official ones that we do, but I might just do them on my channel.
Okay.
But I got my.
I'll watch for it. I'll watch in Discord. You let me know. It'll be fun. But thank you so much. I'm sorry I have to run, but I do have a baby bird I have to put to bed, and we have to get to bed. I have to get up for work in the morning. So it's been a blast. I've loved this, and you've been awesome to host with. You've had a lot of fun with you. So, and everyone watching, have a good night. Make sure if you do catch this on a replay, give Heather some love. Give her a like. Give her a subscribe if you haven't already, because if you haven't, you're missing out. She's got excellent content. And until next time, you guys, take some time for yourselves and love you. Bye.
Go subscribe to Monty too. I need to update the link, but I have her.
I'm coming, baby.
Even if y'all see people on my channel, you can literally see who I'm subscribed to. Because if you go to my homepage, there's a part that says channels, and it literally has everyone I'm subscribed to. I didn't know that. And I was like, that's a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
Stuff I'm
oh gosh, now I gotta go check mine now because no one go look at mine. But anyway, love you guys. Bye.
Bye. So Nicole says there's a whole channel that is dedicated to the fake fart. LOL. They are walking out and about and they play the fart and film the reactions. I have multiple ways to do a fake fart. Do y'all want a tutorial? Should I do a fake fart for y'all? Oh, man. My brother also cracked my neck for me last night. He was doing it to his wife, but she wasn't relaxing enough, so he couldn't really get a good crack. And I was like, well, I've been to the chiropractor, and I could see that he was like, he had his hand placed where it could only go so far, so I knew he wasn't going to snap my neck. And so he did it, and it worked wonders, because before he had cracked my neck, I could only turn my head this far. And then after he cracked my neck, I could turn it all the way back on both sides. So that was really nice. But yeah, so we were just having fun. And then this morning we were doing a bunch of fake farts. But like, I can do it with my mouth alone. I can also do it with my hands like this. And I can make it have different sounds too. So if y'all ever need to know how to do a fake fart, I got you. Oh, man. All right. I guess that is it. And that is the end of the whole Frankenstein read along. So next month is going to be Dracula. I have not started reading it yet. I will tell you that one of our co-hosts is actually Romanian. So she is going to be talking about some of that. How Romania was represented in the book. She actually already has a full-length review that you can go check out. Anyway, this has been fun. I have to head off and take my kids to work. Thanks for a great morning and afternoon. This month has been great. And then the fake fart queen. Okay, I got to do the fake fart. We've talked about it, right? Okay. We'll close out with a fart. Oh, man. So the mouth one. And then you can even do one where it like goes through the gap in between two teeth, but it's kind of hard to just like do it on command. Oh, I did it. That's the liquid fart. And then the long fart. It's with the hands. So you puff your cheeks out and then you put your hands over and then you slowly let air out. Different sides. You slowly let air out so you can distribute the sounds. All right, so here we go. I kind of messed up. I got too much air coming out the one way. Just laughing too hard. Okay. If I can stop cracking myself up, I can do it because it's like really long. Hold on. All right. Oh, serious. What the world? Okay. Sometimes it's better than that. I think I just ran out of air. But you can do a loud one and then follow it up with a mouth fart. And those are the two versions I can give you. Oh man. So oh man. Yeah. Oh man. Yes, it is time to go. Sadly, this is the end. I'm getting told to hurry up. I have to go. Have a great night. See you next time. All right. I guess it's time to end this. Thanks so much for joining. And I will see y'all in my next video. And then the next live streams will be some Dracula stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.